Welcome to the Saguaros Charities Podcast. We're here with Braydon Dennis and Lorraine from Amanda Hope. How are you, Lorraine?
Good morning. It's wonderful. Thank you for the invite. I love it.
Of course, we're honored to have you.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your story and kind of how you started with Amanda Hope.
Ooh, okay. We're going to dive deep quick. So, Amanda Hope is my daughter, and she was 9 years old when she was originally diagnosed with leukemia. And we spent probably the 18 months out of the first 2 years in the hospital. So it was hard. You have a family of two, and I had to quit my job, and we had 3 children. So we still have 2 at home that we're trying to take care of and love and let them know they're going to be okay and their sister's going to be okay. So that was one part. And then, just the drugs that are involved, with children fighting cancer, it's different than adults because their molecular structure is always growing and it's new. So it takes a lot longer to fight cancer with children than it does for adults. And so that was a shocker. And then we found out that her leukemia was this pre-B cell. Sorry about that. And it was an advanced form. So then they told us we'd be having chemotherapy for 3 years. So that was another shocker. And then you find out about the drugs they're using. And unfortunately, even today, the drugs that they use for leukemia for children were developed in 1950, 1970. They have a lot of side effects, and could be deadly. So we literally would have nights where we didn't know if she was going to make it. And then we finally got through it, and we're like, yes, no more chemo party. The whole neighborhood came. It was crazy. And then we thought we were good. And 3 months later, she started getting migraines again, and it was very difficult. And because that's what started it. So PTSD kicked in, and of course I was having anxiety and ran her to the pediatrician who told me she'd be fine. Got her home, and 45 minutes later, she was paralyzed on her face from the left side over. So you can't imagine fighting once, never mind twice. And then to have to tell your daughter that she has to go through all this again was painful and scary. So we were back in the hospital and fighting a brain tumor this time. And to find out that was caused by the treatment, why are we doing this treatment if it causes secondary cancers? And unfortunately, here we are, 2024, 25, around the corner. We're still using the same drugs. We have not had any progress with pediatric leukemia. And my niece is actually fighting the same cancer my daughter has right now in North Carolina. Doing well, but same protocol, which when I was looking at what we were doing and I was having my friends, now after all these years, I have a lot of oncology doctor friends, as you can imagine. Yeah. And they're like, yes, Lorraine, that's the protocol. So we haven't gotten any further. And so that's how Amanda Hope started. When she was 12, she hated her shirt being lifted, in the room. And so she designed an apparel line that we fondly call Comfycozys for Chemo. And we literally have shipped those all over the world now. They're in most every pediatric hospital in America. And
how many Comfycozys have been distributed across the world?
15,000.
15,000. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, she, I always say Amanda's large and in charge. Whether she's in heaven on earth, she still bosses me around. She did when she was here. She still is, If anyone's had a 9-year-old to a 12-year-old, they all know that they have a way of getting what they want. And so, especially when you're sick, then you really get what you want. And so that was it. And when we found out that we were going through a bone marrow transplant, getting ready for that, we found out that another drug we gave her actually mutated her cancer cells, and it spreaded throughout her entire body within literally less than 2 weeks. So we couldn't do the transplant, and that's when they told me that we had 2 weeks left. And we did we call it, you've heard the expression, most best days, that's what we did. And my sister did a big fundraiser, and she wanted to go to the Vatican, and she wanted to go on a gondola ride. And so we were told she had 2 weeks on Friday. By Tuesday, we were flying to Rome. And our doctors were amazing and filled a suitcase with probably had over $100,000 in drugs in my one bag. And, all the forms had to be filled out because I'm carrying narcotics, and getting them through customs. And the hospital in Rome was very aware that I was there. The hotel I stayed in was actually owned by the Vatican, and there was 22 nuns that lived in the hotel that I was staying in, and they were pray over Amanda every morning. And it was all that was really sweet. And so she got to go see, I don't know if you remember back then in 2012, a panda bear was just born in San Diego, and there was, and so she did everything. We swam with dolphins. She loved sea turtles. So we really just created the most memories that we possibly could do. And she lived for another 3.5 months. But during that time, she knew what she wanted. She wanted every kid to have Comfycozies. She, wanted to give back. And literally her last words to me were, promise me, Mama, you're going to help every child. And here we are, helping every child. And so we do, we help with end of life. We do financial aid. We help pay, the average family can have an out-of-pocket cost of $66,000 a year. So it's
big burden.
It's a big deal when that hits your family, because here we are, I call it living your life, because I own my own business, doing well. My husband was in banking. He worked for Bank of America at the time. All this stuff was going. Our daughters were in dance and volleyball, singing, piano. You're doing life, right? And then one moment, your life stops. And it doesn't just stop for the child. It stops for the entire family. So then we do all these major distractions, right, to help families have really something to look forward. We just did trunk or treat, which was, we had over 100 little kids there. They can't go trick or treating in their neighborhood because they don't know if that person walking up has the flu or something, because that could literally kill them. And so when we create these events and these Christmas, all the fun things that we do, it's a safe place because they're all families with medically fragile children. So they know the other children and the parents are not going to show up with a sick child. So we just create those safe places. Someday the big dream is to have a building with a playground and, a gym. And so our kids can, come and be on, green grass and all that fun stuff. But so all the things that we do was Amanda's bucket list. And that's how we came about, promise to a little girl.
We're not supposed to pick favorites, but I will tell you right now that Amanda Hope is definitely up there on a lot of the Saguaros lists in terms of their favorite organizations that we work with. We've been working with you guys since even before I joined the group. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us how that started?
A friend of a friend and said, do you know? And I'm like, no. And then, I went and met a lot of the, the young men. And I got to tell you, guys are rock stars because you have fun and you give back. And, that's hard to find. And the way that you collaborate together and that you come together. And then once you have a mission, you guys are on it. It's like, oh, we have to do this for this many kids? Done. We want to do this for the... Done. And, you're out there. And I love coming to your events. And I remember coming to one event where I was selling raffle tickets for you guys. And I was like, no, more. Because they support me. Give me more. So I had a fun time. And, so I think it's a partnership because you touch so many lives. And I'm so grateful. As the mom, CEO, founder, however you want to refer to me, I get to see the smiles every day. I'm in the hospitals. I'm serving lunch. I remember eating Amanda's leftovers in the hospital because it got to the point where I couldn't afford to go to the cafeteria every day. I didn't have an extra $20 a day to spend in the cafeteria. So we give gift cards in the cafeteria to the families. We provide lunch there. So it's just any gap in the care that I knew personally, we take care of. And then, as you know, mental health is huge for me. We have a lot of counseling and mindfulness. And why do we do that? Well, as you know, my husband got a lot of ulcers going through all of that, and it was hard. For a man not to be able to provide for his family, I think eats them up inside. If a man can't fix it, it's bad. But he would never ask for help, and he would never share his fear with me because he wanted to be strong for me. And those ulcers led to stomach cancer, and then after we lost Amanda, then I lost my husband to cancer. So that's why I'm so huge on self-care. I'm like, even if you get a massage, do something to take care of yourself. And so I get to share that with dads, and they listen to me because I lost my husband. So, how do you take ashes and make beauty out of it? Just by sharing my story. And I've had men come to our center to get a massage or get sound healing or get counseling or mindfulness. And when they walk out of a session, I've literally had grown men cry on my shoulders because it was the first time they felt that touch without needing something on the other, like it was just about them. And I think men don't get what they need. Women are getting better at asking. I mean, I didn't ask for help for many, many years. But as you learn that that's actually a way of healing, asking for help, then you start asking a lot more. And now, I ask everybody for help.
Well, one thing that I love about you, Lorraine, is just just the organization is it's apparent what your why is. I mean, it's whenever you tell your story, it's so easy for us to kind of rally behind you and see what you guys are doing and the impact you guys are having. And so it's just we know your why. What is kind of your goals? Where would you like to see Amanda Hope go?
So fun that you asked that. So we're busting out of where we are now. I'm looking to buy like a preschool or a church or something because I want green grass. I believe in holistic care. So children running on not artificial turf, but green grass that brings healing to their body. I'd love a gym, where they could just come and shoot hoops or just be kids, so that's a big audacious dream of mine. And I also would love like separate classrooms. So if we need to bring in tutoring, I mean, we have counseling, we have mindfulness. I'd love a big yoga room, where we could come in and the moms could come in for morning yoga and just stretch and play and things like that. In our center now, we already have this huge, we have the toy room. We give about 200 birthday cards out a month to families. We ship them out, and then they get to come, pick something out of our toy closet. So we've been doing that for, 10 years. But it's just that I want that fullness of that whole holistic care. So they can come in, now they have to make an appointment and we'll bring a practitioner in to do sound healing. But I would love to have one like there, as we're open. So I really want a holistic care center more than we have now. Yeah. So on steroids. But the playground and the gym. Yep. Yes.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It's out there. And we almost had one a few months ago, and unfortunately we lost it. But I know Amanda and Marty have something bigger and better for me. So it's out there, and I'm going to find it. I won't find it. Trust me. It'll come to me.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll find me. So that's the big dream. And then the other thing that I'm very passionate about is, finding a purpose for your passion or, how you want to say that either way. A lot of families, once they go through this, they want to give back, but they don't know how. So I really want to create Amanda Hope in a box where everything that I've learned, I can teach other moms and dads, and whether they go under our fiscal covering or they want to start their 501. I've done it to other 501s here in the Valley. I've coached and mentored different ones, but I really want a purposeful kit. Like, this is what you do first. And then, if they want to give Comfycozies away, we'll ship them the Comfycozy. So there won't be any cost to that because we already are giving them away free anyway. But wouldn't it be wonderful to send 50 to a mom and go, give them to every child in the hospital that you serve in or that you want to give? So I really want to start working with families to create that I'm giving back or moving it forward, however the family, looks at it. So that's big on my to-do list.
Along those lines, I'm curious, obviously, besides giving to the Saguaros and then we directly give to you. How can we find Amanda Hope for the people watching, and how can they help?
So, we need lots of volunteers. We have a big Christmas where we have like over 1,000 toys that need to be wrapped. So, there's things like that. They can go on our website, amandahope.org/volunteer. There's just, we have 200 birthday cards that need to be made every month. So, and we receive between 100 and 130 new kiddos every month as a part of our new Amanda Hope family. So we want to reach them. And that takes phone calls. That takes, writing a note. And that's stuff that we really can't pay for because that would just eat up our budget. So volunteer we do have people that'll come down, 3 hours a week. And it's like, yes. And then we have these big events where, even our gala, we needed 100 volunteers to put that thing together. And it was massive. And then it was beautiful. And so, there's always, whatever your gift and talent is, I'm always looking for social media people that just want to come and sit on our social media and tell kids, big hugs, you're so brave.
Yep.
That takes a lot of time. And,
So if you want to get involved, just reach out to you and you'll find a spot for them.
Tell me where your gifts and talents are. We've had artists come in and do art shops. We've had art authors come in and read their books to our children and then sign copies and give them all to the kids. So, wherever your talent is and you want to get involved, I'll plug you in. I'll find something for you to do.
Love it.
Awesome.
Yes. So I don't know. I have a lot of people say, I don't know how you get up every morning. Well, all I got to do is see one of those little kiddos smiles, and it's like the B12 shot. Ooh, let's go. Yeah, it's fun.
Well, Lorraine, thank you very much for coming on and sharing your story. We really appreciate it, and we just kind of wanted to get Amanda Hope's name out there a little bit more. You're doing an amazing job with it, and just wanted to kind of share your why and your purpose. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, and big hugs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.